result. The reason why we have used 3/4 of a comb here is because this is the shortest you can cut this section, which we have learned through the pain of our mistakes. 3/4 of a comb will give us the strongest result, which is still a soft result. The slither section is half the size of a normal section, and you will see why the slither section is so important when we have finished cutting.
Oh no, hang on, sorry, what do you mean?
We continue cutting this slither
Oh,
section
okay,
all
thank
the way
you.
around on both sides to the front of the head, pulling the hair out at 90 degrees and using our combs and measuring stick as we go to make sure we maintain
Good
the
job you
same
said
length
that.
all the way around the head.
Again, it's habit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Please note our feet and body are directly in front of our
Does it matter if I go
section.
right or left?
This will guarantee we
On
do
the
not
video,
over-direct, and the hair
Left.
will be the same length all the way around, which is exactly what we want with the slither on the long disconnection. This first section we need to get balance and the length right, as this will be our guide through the whole haircut. Horizontal slither under the horseshoe shape. Measure with your comb 3/4 of a comb. Lift the hair 90 degrees from the head. Take a normal cut.
Okay.
Cut inside vertical section down the middle back and flip the hair either side neatly out of the way so we have a clear, clean view. Take a normal cut inside vertical section down the middle back and flip the hair either side neatly.
Right, I've got to stand at the right side.
The outer way, so get a clean view of the hair we're about to comb and cut. Comb the hair up to the ceiling, making sure the hair is wet, so our little slither guide sticks to the side of the long hair, so we can clearly
I don't know if that can see me.
see the slither guide. We then squeeze cut from our slither guide to our furthest, longest length, nice and slowly, making sure our thumb is moving so we are cutting, not sliding or pushing the scissors through the hair. With our body firmly to the right.
So the one that is just done, once you've done it, is
Yeah.
clipped it out of the way.
So am I going that way?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Right hand side for right handers, where our body will stay.
And it's
for
a
the
straight
whole
vertical
haircut,
section,
and
isn't
vice
it?
versa for
Yeah.
left handers. Using the shank of our scissors to cut, we squeeze gently, resting our thumb delicately on the scissors, so we have complete control, cutting like with a piece of cloth or paper with the shank, and never actually closing the scissors completely, like you would do when you cut normally. We take another vertical section parallel to our previous section, clipping our previous section that we have just cut completely out the way, so we are not using our previous section as a guide. We cannot stress enough, this isn't like a usual haircut where you use the previous section as your guide.
Does that
We
look
always
right to you?
forget about the previous section throughout the whole.
Feels so weird,
of the
doesn't
long
it?
disconnected
I did it on a bit of paper, like you said, but it just feels strange.
And the longest, furthest hair away from the slither. So refreshingly, there is no cross-checking with this haircut. We urge you to cut a piece of paper before attempting the squeeze, as the squeeze is the same method, using your thumb to cut and never actually closing the scissors completely. Cutting a piece of paper first before you attempt the squeeze will give you the action and understanding of the squeeze technique. Our body position stays directly at the right hand side for right handers and the left for left handers. When you first attempt the squeeze, we advise.
So that'll be your last section, and then it goes back to the middle and
Okay,
does the other side and then the other side.
yeah.
And then you do that.
See if I can. Is it actually being seen? Yeah, I think so.
Is to not rush the method. Take your time. The facial expressions are not necessary, but getting your head around the method before you work on your ninja speed is. We always concentrate on picking up the slither guide first, with our fingers placed right up near the horseshoe section. The hair at the bottom of the nape will be dragged along for the ride. We pull our fingers right the way
Oh
to
no,
the
I've got to
top
stand
of
the right
hair.
side,
Our
haven't
fingers
I?
are in a horizontal position always, making sure we can clearly see the slither guide, which is our first guide each time before we squeeze. Always being cautious that we do not take any hair off of our furthest length. vertical sections, not using the previous section as a guide, yet always squeezing from the guide with hair neatly out of the way. We next take a diagonal
Feels really
section
nice
out
actually
from
once
the
you get
very
going. It's
front,
just
the
getting
size
going,
of a
isn't
thick
it?
cutting section, which will be disconnected.
Right, okay.
So Carrie's actually on the right there.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Whilst he's there, and I'll just
With hair neatly out of the way. We next take a diagonal section out from the very front, the size of a thick cutting section, which will be disconnected. And we continue with exactly the same method through the sides. This time though, being very
How wide does
cautious
it take that
that we do
section?
not have the
Sorry,
luxury
is it just...
do you want me to go back a little?
not using the previous section as a guide, yet always squeezing from the guide with hair neatly out of the way. We next take a diagonal section out from the very front, the size of a thick cutting section, which will be disconnected. And we continue with exactly the same method through the sides. This time though, being very cautious that we do not have the luxury of as much hair at the sides as we did the back. So our line needs to be steeper going up to the ceiling to leave weight on the ends. The reason why we have a disconnected piece at the front is because the sides are usually the finest area. So a disconnected piece will leave weight, giving us options when we come to cut in the front. And leaving a disconnected piece will add to the illusion of the finished look, especially if we cut a fringe and do not graduate the sides. We do exactly the same on the other side, and the underneath of the squeeze has been completed. So why do you think the slither was so important at the beginning? What would have happened if the slither section was a normal size section? We would have had a weight line that we could see, right? And how would we have got rid of that weight line? We would have had to have point cut or textured it, which would have taken time, wouldn't it? That's why we had a slither at the beginning, so you see no line at the end. Sections out from the front, vertical sections behind the ear, not using previous sections as a guide, yet always squeezing from the guide with the hair neatly out of the way.
So now just go back to the other side.
Yeah, exactly the same on the other side.
I should know this, I've watched this loads of times.
So it's more confirmation.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
So do I still stand at the right side?
Yeah, you still, yeah, your body position doesn't change.
Am I on the right side? No, I'm on the left side.
That's right, so you'll be standing behind it almost.
So I need to stand like
so
that?
yeah,
Okay.
so you're behind the section you're cutting.
Okay. Right. What was next? These, sorry, rude for me. I'm in the zone.
Yeah, what's next?
With the high point hair in between our fingers, we set our comb on the head and we bring the high point hair and our fingers up to 3/4 of a comb and cut.
Right, that's it. Just cut straight across.
Yeah. So remember 3/4 of your comb,
Yeah.
same length as your slither.
It must be so frustrating watching this. It's frustrating. I frustrate myself.
So
I feel like-
it's not, it's because you just want to get it right.
yeah, I do. Right, okay, that's good.
We then split a top section into two, which we do with all the 4 top sections.
So we started with the front section.
No, back left, but it was left side, and
Oh.
we'll go back.
With the high point hair in between our head, and we bring that. Then split a top section into two, which we do
Right,
with
okay.
all the 4 top sections.
That's fine.
So we'll have only 8 sections.
Did he start from the back part of this section? Front.
Yeah.
Okay.
On top to cut. We do exactly the same on the top as we did on the underneath. We pull the hair straight up to the ceiling using the high point slither section as our guide each time, and our other guide is the hair furthest away, and we squeeze. It's imperative that we keep our sections clean as we move through the 8 top sections, just like we did on the underneath. The minute we get sloppy with our sections is the time we will get lost and the haircut will come tumbling down. Once you have cut a section, we forget about it and cleanly clip it out of the way and move on to the
So now the back one.
Yeah.
the next section, rotating around the head, always using our high point as our guide.
front of the section first. Does this look right, Georgie?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Good.
If the slither guide does not stick and falls away, just pick up the high points through the guide, and when the guide falls away, you will still have in your mind's eye the guide to squeeze from. It's vital that once the section is cut and completed, it is clipped cleanly and neatly out of the way, so you get a bird's eye view of the next section we're about to comb and cut. The top is even quicker than the underneath to cut, as we only have 8 sections.
Not for me, it's not.
No need to rush. Each time we split one of the 4 top sections, it's essential that we split that top section from the high point. So our start guide is the same length each time, which is 3/4 of a comb in this case. The long disconnection haircut works on any head of hair. It's especially special on curly hair because when it's very long, it can tend to go very flat on top. All the weight sits around the bottom like a lampshade. With the long disconnection, because of the disconnection and the short and long lengths, we eradicate the flatness and the lampshade effect. The long disconnection lifts and sets curly hair free. It works beautifully. We do